Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige. This is Seeking Alexandria, and you guys, I'm so excited. It's finally here. The time has arrived. The Anastasia Soft Glam palette is in my midst and ready for the touching and the swatching and the loving and the trying on my eyes. You guys, I am so excited. So I got both of these in the mail yesterday, actually. This, as well as the Jeffree Star Blood Sugar palette. I did a little poll on Twitter, and at first this one was pulling ahead, and then there was like a half-half thing. And then I realized, I'm like, there's only like 8 or 10 votes or something. Y'all, we need to get better about this Twitter voting, because how am I supposed to know what you guys want if you do not help a sister out? And I announced that on Snapchat, so you can't even give me nothing. Follow me on Snapchat, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, and all that good stuff. The links are always down in that description box. Don't forget it. I think they're almost always down there. Until YouTube pulls this weird thing where, like, I checked the other day, and my description box was completely empty. And I'm like, what? Like, how did this, I always have a standing, like, block of information in there, and it just, like, went away, and I'm like, where did you go? But not to matter. Most of the time, it is in there, and it's important to follow me on those so you know what I be getting in the mail. You know what I mean? I'm very excited about these things. So, I went with the Soft Glam palette first, and I did that only because I looked at it. Guys, I feel like every time I turn the camera on, there's something on the corner of my lip. Every time. It's so weird. Anyways, I went with this palette, hi, because the other one is still on pre-order, and it'll be like 2 to 3 weeks before it's delivered. But this one is available for purchase, I still believe. I don't think it's like out of stock or anything. I got mine from the Anastasia website because I don't think it's released to Sephora or Ulta yet. However, I also picked up 2 other things here. The Amrezy highlight, because you know your girl has been dying to try this. And I also picked up one of the new bronzers. I believe it came out in like 5 different shades, and I picked the shade that I thought would work best, but we will get into that here a little bit later. I'm super excited about those, but until then, you guys, Soft Glam palette. Now, the deal with this palette is, wait, does it say, does it give you any like, I don't think it does. Honestly, I don't think it's one of those palettes, though, that you really need to, like, you know, hear too much about. Soft Glam. The answer... word. The answer is in the title. I think this is just a palette that we're going to dive into, we're going to have fun with, but I believe Soft Glam. It's meant to be, you know, not over the top, not super dramatic. I look at this as like a really nice wearable palette for someone who's not super comfortable with like bright and, you know, insane colors. They want more demure looks. People that are really just into a softer eye look, which is still great. There's nothing wrong with that. And a lot of times a palette like this, you can build up and intensify and, you know, make it your own, but it's very fitting for the person that just likes that softer appeal, which is great. My mom is the type of person that would really, really love this palette. You do get, how many shades are in here? You do get 14 shades. How did I not know that? This is like the 4th Anastasia palette I've reviewed. As you know, it is the same packaging, or if you don't know, as the rest of them. It has this nice felt cover here, which of course I already got really dirty right here, but it's in like this beautiful mustard yellow, which I actually really love. I don't know why. I feel like it just fits like the whole motif, you know? So I love this. And then you open it up, you get a mirror right here, and then, oh, and it comes with a brush. Their brushes are actually pretty decent. I tend to like them and use them and keep them. The crease side isn't the best. It's a little scratchier, but the other side, it's like a shorter packer. I'll show it to you later, but it's actually a decent little brush. And then, wha-bam, we get into the colors. You guys have been clocking me, by the way, for not like showing you what this looks like. So here you go. It does have a really beautiful arrangement of mattes and shimmers. I'm not going to sit here and say that I think this palette's like setting the world on fire. It's not super ingenuitive. It's not like, oh wow, you know, I'm crazy happy, da da da, but it's beautiful. And I loved the way some of these colors swatched out, like Dusty Rose. I feel like some of them are so muted and beautiful, and they carry with them just like this air of sophistication that I really enjoy. So we're gonna jump in. I have of course swatched them, as I've shown you already. We're gonna jump into the swatches so you guys can see them up close. Some of you, it's like your favorite part, like you wait for this part, and I'm so glad, because I'm never sure how people are gonna receive it. But we're gonna jump into that real quick. You know what, we'll use the Anastasia brush as the pointer. That way you guys can see what she looks like up close. First up, we have an all over super light color in the shade Tempera. Yeah, let's go with that. You guys, I don't know how to pronounce anything. I don't know if you've noticed yet. Next up, we have Glistening, Orange Soda, Rose Pink, Sultry, Bronze, Mulberry. Drop down to the second row, we have Dusty Rose, Fairy, Burnt Orange, Sienna, Rustic, Cypress Umber, and Noir. And that, my friends, is the entire Soft Glam palette. And this is the shorter stubby end of the brush. And then there is like a fluffier crease kind of kind. This side is a little bit scratchy, like more so than I would enjoy, but this side feels pretty nice and soft. FYI. Alright, and as you guys know, I do have a little bit of extra bake and powder and all that good stuff under my eyes. You guys, the brows this morning, like, I think they turned out pretty good, but I'm not kidding you when I tell you, like, this one literally looked like I took a giant fat Sharpie and went, and then it was like, I'll just shape tape the brow in. Because it looked so bad. Like, I think that for how far it came, it looks really good. So don't hate on my brows because it was like a mental situation this morning. Oh, and I am still testing out, another side note, the Wayne Goss brushes. I know the brush video is coming. A lot of you are like, where is it? What's going on? It's still happening. And I am now testing out his most recent launch of these brushes. So I believe we are going to start by fluffing. Wait, do I want to use this one or this one? Decisions. I think I want to start with the number 3 brush. It's just a little longer tapered, but when you push it into the crease, it does this a little bit and it really fluffs out and it takes it from more of a point to a more dispersed fan size. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start off, and you guys literally, oh my God in heaven, did that scare the bejesus out of me. 3 hours later, you guys, oh my God, that phone call scared the crap out of me. It jumped out of my skin, then I had to make like 2 more phone calls. It's really only been like 10 minutes, but in my mind, it's been like 3 years. I'm exhausted, I got a headache. Oh, the real world, when it catches up to you, damn, just run the other way. All right, you guys, what I was saying is that any color in this, in my opinion at least, would work really well for a crease color. I mean, a lot of them are gonna be great for that. What I'm really interested in with this palette is I think something a lot of other people are interested in. Let me go ahead, otherwise I'm gonna talk my world away. I think I really want to play with the rosier tones because let's face it, we're all expecting me to play with the more gold shimmers because gold shimmers are my best friend. But I kind of want to play with the mulberry. Ooh, but wait a second, that Amrezy highlight, isn't that gold? So if I do like a really soft gold eye, the highlight would match my eyes. You guys, when my highlight matches my eyes and like everything blends together, like it kind of gets me a little. So maybe I'll do that instead. Okay, you guys, I changed my mind on camera just for you guys. I like to feel like we go through this process together. So I think what I want to do is go in with the orange soda and burnt orange, work both of those 2 oranges into the crease. What I'm really interested with, and I've already primed and prepped my eyes, by the way, is I'm super interested in seeing if these colors, do they build up, do they blend, what do they look like? Because I feel like this is going to be, you guys, my mirror is an effing disaster. I can't even see in it. All right, there we go. But I feel like with this palette, what I'm super curious to know is I don't ever mind if there's like lighter colors or anything like that that need to be built up, but I'm always curious, you know, are they buildable? Are they, you know, do they really deepen over time, or is it just a wash of color? Because do I want a palette with 14 shades where 10 of them are a wash of color? Absolutely not. Like, that sucks. I'm really interested in seeing, however, if it builds. Like, this is all that really light orange soda shade. And I do think that it is beautiful. You can see that it does deepen up a little bit on the outer corner. I feel like you guys are sitting a year away from me right now. Now I'm going to start going in with burnt orange. Whoa! You guys, you've got to see this. Okay, I literally hit the pan 1 time. Do you see that burnt orange shade right there? Like, oh my God, that's crazy. Okay, so there, that shade had quite a bit of kick. And just side note, I know that everyone from here on out, everyone like expects you to compare every Anastasia palette with the Subculture palette. If you are new to my channel, you will know that is literally one of my biggest pet peeves. Yes, it is a softer shadow. Yes, it might kick up. Personally, I prefer a little bit more kick in pan. That's my preference. Your preference might be different. That's fine too. I'm not gonna sit here, pick up this pan and go ding, 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 ding for 3 hours and, you know, try to prove to you how soft the shadows are. I don't do that with any shadow, so I'm not gonna do it now. Like, when people did that with the Subculture palette, I was like, what? Okay, so back to this palette, that burnt orange shade, literally, it is like a very, very soft kick up in pan, semi-fallout shadow, but you guys, it builds up and looks stunning. It diffuses like a dream. Like, it seriously blends out so beautiful. Like, it's such a soft, beautiful orange shade. I'm obsessed with that color. Whew. I think I want to go in now with the shade, ooh, do I want to pick, I think I want to pick Sienna right here, which is right next to it. You can kind of see these are the two I have right now. This one is built up, and I think I want to go in this and just like deepen it up a little bit on the outer V and kind of see what we can, you know, elicit. Is it going to be the same color? Is it going to be different? What's it going to do? Now what do I want to do next? And like I said before, this is just like a really soft glam kind of moment. I was debating on doing like a semi cut crease situation, but I really feel like that's a little too far because that's not soft. So do I want to take, I do, I think I'm going to go in with Cypress Umber, which is this guy right down here. So we were here, here, then we were where? Yeah, then we were here. Now we're gonna jump over to here a little bit just to deepen up the outer corner. And then I think we're gonna go in with a light gold moment and kind of see what we can come up with. And by the way, you guys, I have not changed my brush at all. This is still the Wayne Goss number 3. And I love this brush, by the way, just a side note. You guys, I literally have not added any additional product. I stamped that Cypress Umber shade on the outer V. I worked it around, and then I very lightly took my brush and kind of pulled it through the crease, just like whatever was left over. And I have to be honest, it is very pigmented. Like, it pulled through the crease beautifully, but not overwhelming. Like, it just very lightly sloughed through. That is so beautiful. My goodness. Like, I'm really shocked at how nicely this is coming together. Now, I will end up taking that Black Noir shade and kind of putting it on the outer V and finish, like, to smoke this out a little. But now I have to decide which gold color do I want on my lid. Oh, you guys, it's always such a rough one. The only thing I'm a little frustrated about is, let me not blind you, I feel like this gold and this gold are very similar. This one is a little more bronzy, but like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like they're both really similar. Again, the bottom one is a little lighter. I think I'm going to go with this one all over the eyes, which you guys totally knew was going to happen. Now, how do I want to try this? I always do go in, so okay, this is the shade Bronze, by the way, right here. Hello, gorgeous, very beautiful, sexy shade. I'm a little curious. Oh my God in heaven, does that swatch out? Okay, why would I put that in the most awkward spot I possibly could? But seriously, you are sexy. I was going to, you know, wet a brush and all that, but of course you guys know I like to try these with my finger first just to see if I'm gonna need glitter glue with them. It's not uncommon that I need glitter glue, but I like to see what they look like first. Oh, wow. Okay, that's absolutely gorgeous. Wow, that's really pretty. Oh my good Lord. Okay, we're gonna go back in now with that Wayne Goss brush, and we're not gonna add any additional product. I just kind of want to see, by working the matte shades that are already in the crease and kind of blending it all together, what happens. A lot of times with glitter on my eyelid like this, without a glitter glue, it tends to flake off, so... it flaked off a little for sure. Yeah, you can definitely see I've got a lot of fallout right there, but that's what happens on my eyelids with shimmers. A lot of times they have a hard time sticking. They fall out. I don't get too mad at them. I do have a standard for like what I hold to consider a good shadow, and I'm not going to say that this is a bad shadow at all. A lot of that fallout is from when I tried to blend the crease, which then it flaked off. I want to go back in to that Cypress shade, right here, and then I'm going to start blending that out with this deeper black shade on the outer V, just to kind of start deepening it up. I'm taking that same Wayne Goss brush and I'm just going to lightly kind of lay it on its side and smoke it that way. A, it disturbs the glitter less, and B, I feel like it's going to give me a lot more gradient effect to the outer V. I do think on the other eye, when I put down that gold, I'm going to try a glitter glue and see if I can get it to hold that intensity, because I feel like all of the beautiful, like vivacious, what makes it look intense, I feel like that's what's falling off, and it's leaving me like a really beautiful gold sheen or a gold pigment, but like the reflectant part is what's falling out onto my under eye, which is a little annoying. So I'm going to try that next time. I also want to give a shot No, you know what? No, I don't. I'm going to pop off camera real quick, do this other eye, catch us up, and then we're going to do the under eye. We've still got that highlight, that other stuff. So hold on just a second. Oh my God, you guys, is that not like gorgeous? I know it's not like blended. We're not there yet, guys. Calm down. It'll be okay. But until then, God, that's pretty. I love that. I love like a good, like just light smoke. Oh my God. Be right back. Literally just talked to myself for a minute because the camera wasn't on. You guys, you always got to look for that red light, guys. It's a tricky gun. But anyways, I am this far now, and I definitely am having some thoughts about this eyeshadow palette. I am going to wait until the very end, though, and then I'll kind of wrap and review. Otherwise, you guys know your girl will talk a lot. So I wiped off all the bake, all the fallout, all that good stuff. I am going to go in now with some lower lash line fun. I'm going to take this shade, which pulls really burgundy looking on camera, but in swatch it's not as burgundy. It's got like a brown undertone. I mean the title of it's mulberry, so it does have a berry tone, but what I want to do is smoke it out with that burnt orange, and I think the two of those would pull beautifully together and help pull and like juxtapose some of the beautiful oranges on the upper lid. So I'm going to start with mulberry on a little tiny, this is the Wayne Goss pencil brush. This is a number 5. But again, any pencil brush would work, or any, you know, whatever you use, a smudger brush even would do the trick. And I'm just going to run that close as I can to my bottom lashes. That shade is absolutely amazing. Now underneath of that, I actually want to go in, because I want like a really nice fluff out, if you will. I'm going to go in with the ABH brush that it came with on that, the shorter, stubbier side. I'm just wiping off all the gold that I seem to have gotten on it. Whoops. And I'm going to go in with that burnt orange shade, and I just want to we're going to tap it off, and I want to smoke out the bottom side of that mulberry, because I want to soften the mulberry and pull the orange at the same time from the upper lid. Wow, I look really special right now, don't I? Alright, so oh, and I never mentioned prices at all. Alright, so this Soft Glam palette is $42, which I believe is the same price that all the rest have been. Oh my God, guys, this phone business, and I have to keep it on because I'm like half on call. I had somebody that said, oh, I'm gonna call you, so now every time it rings I get to have a heart attack. But okay, back to the real world. You guys, let's talk about the bronzer and the highlight. First of all, oh my gosh, like the highlight, this is what we're looking at first, because I literally can't wait any longer. Let's get all the crap off my hand so we have a good swatchable surface. Alright, so while I open this, my gosh, the highlight as well as the bronzer, or all the bronzers rather, are $28 a piece, which I actually thought they were going to be more expensive. A, because it was a collab, I believe, and B, because, I mean, it's like such a novelty at this point. Ooh. So this is the Amrezy highlight packaging. Is that like stunning? I'm obsessed. Okay. And then you're going to open it. By the way, this literally feels like expensive. Like it looks and feels luxurious. You open it up, there's like a push clasp here. You get this beautiful mirror. Oh my gosh. It looks like ripples in the ocean of my heart. Oh my gosh. You guys. Okay, we're just gonna like swatch it. Oh. Say, oh my God in heaven. That's, first of all, blinding. Second of all, I think that that's actually a light enough gold that a pasty person can wear it. Oh my God, thank you so much. Literally, that doesn't happen in my world. Like, pasty people don't get to wear gold half the time. The more fair you are, the lighter the gold has to be or should be. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. Okay. Now, for bronzers, I picked up Tawny, which is the shade of this bronzer. And again, I believe that they released 5, and I don't remember if that's accurate or not, 4 or 5, something in that range. And they, on the website, they actually described like what the undertone and what the tone of each bronzer was, so to help you kind of pick one. I went with Tawny because it said it had the coolest or the cooler undertone to it, and as you know, or if you don't know, the fairer you are, the cooler you need. A lot of us, or a lot of people like in the beauty world that contour or bronze that are pasty, we go with like matte brown, like cool tone browns, because our skin is so fair. A warmer tone looks muddy on us, like literal mud. So I went with Tawny. I haven't, oh, okay, so same packaging, well, not the same packaging, but I have to touch this, I'm sorry, you just have to wait a second. Ooh, oh, I love, Oh my God, that's so creamy. Oh yes, queen, that's tawny. And that's gorgeous. That's beautiful. And it feels so like silky. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the packaging here, it has like these little, and I don't think it'll pick up on camera, but it's got, maybe if I catch the light, you can see like, kitty cat? Shh. I need you to be quiet. I'm very busy. Same big old mirror and a nice big fat pan. You know I love me a big old fat pan. Hello there, Mr. Reflection. Okay, so we are going to grab, I'm gonna go, you know, I think I will start off, that's so not the right brush, with my Y1 from Morphe. I like it because it has a point, and I usually start it in this direction and then kind of blend it like this. I think it's the best anytime you're going to work with either a bronzer, a contour, anything like that. Lip is still doing it, except now it's doing it on both sides. It's best to start back here because you don't want to put like a big old blob of color right here and then try to buff it out because you're going to look like an idiot. And I already do that all the time. Look at me right now. So we're just going to take an, oh my God. Okay. You guys, that is some pigment. Okay. We're going to take and we're going to kind of, oh, all right. It's okay. Don't have a heart attack. We're just going to take and we're going to kind of fold it back here a little. And then we're going to work it out. Well, that is pigment. Like, oh man. That has got... Go sparingly. Very, very, very sparingly. Very sparing, very sparing. Okay. Enough of the jokes, Paige. Enough of the jokes. You guys, like, I literally barely dipped into that. Oh my gosh. Hello, pigment. We're going to take, and we're just going to start drawing it a little bit at a time up the facial contour here. Just a little bit. And again, the more fair you are, the more careful you need to be. It will literally look like you took a chocolate bar or dirt or something and just smeared it on your face. Especially when you're me and you like don't ever even see what sun looks like, much less get any on your face. But I'm definitely glad I went with the cooler option, and I can't say that I won't come back to this and maybe bronze up a little more. I think on camera I look whiter than I actually do in real life right now, but I'm going to go in with a blush, and I want to get the other stuff on before I continue to bronze my face, just because, you know, I don't want to go overboard with that and then I can't, you know, correct it later. When you are paler, you need to start small and work your way up from there. This is not from the new collection, but I am going to go in with the Wayne Goss number 12 brush. I have been loving this for my blush. Now, because I've got this really beautiful bronze look going on, I want to go in with the shade Kindred right here. It's a little, it looks really dark on camera, but it's definitely a lighter, you know, bronzy blush, I guess you could call it. But I love this shade. It's one of my favorites because I love how well it marries with my bronzer. Like bronzer and contour, I feel like this shade is just like the no blush blush, you know what I mean? That looks really stupid. I'll have to blend that out. Oh, that's much better. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with the highlight. I am so excited. All right, gotta like calm down, bring myself down a couple levels. I think I first want to try applying it with like a big fluffy fan brush. This is one of my favorite ways to apply highlight. I'm just dragging it all the way through here, and we're just gonna go in. Oh my God. Oh my actual sweet baby Jesus. Oh. You guys, this looks stunning. And I love that it actually works on my skin tone. And it actually looks really flattering up against that bronzer. Like, I was a little bit nervous about that because the bronzer is a little more cooler tone and then this is gold. And I just wasn't sure if I would like them together. I pulled that one down way too far, so I'm gonna have to blush and blend that. But wow, that's so beautiful. You know how when you play with a new highlight and you screw it up, but like you can't get mad because how much can you really screw up highlight? Because it's gorgeous and it's amazing and it's everything you could ever want in your life. Oh, I'm gonna look like a glowing little light bulb today. Yes, I am. All right, well, I'm gonna fix my blush because I definitely, look at that. I took it all the way down. That's what happens when I get excited. New blushes do that to me, or new highlights, I mean, new everything does that to me. I'll be right back, you guys. I'm gonna go finish all this up. Alright guys, I went ahead and I finished everything up. I finished getting that blush blended, and I really think that with my hair like down and everything, like I think it all pulled together really beautifully. Actually, I look like nice and sun-kissed and a little glowy. And if you're curious too, what is on my lips is this Vivid Hot Lacquer by Maybelline. This is in the shade 64 Unreal. I wanted something that had like color to it, but I didn't want it to look super intense. I wanted like a gloss to really transform, lighten it up a little bit, and just add like a little ooh to the moment instead of it being like super structured. And I feel like sometimes when you add a matte lipstick, it can structure it a little bit too much, and I wanted like a more, you know, laid back kind of feel. Now I do want to talk real quick. I know this video has already been stupid long. The highlight I think is absolutely amazing. It's beautiful. I love the way it went on. It didn't get like chunky or anything in pan, and I think that the presentation is stunning. I feel like this is something that if this said Dior on it, or if this said, you know, any other brand name on this, it wouldn't be a $28 highlight. It would be like a $64 highlight. Like, that's what it reminds me of, packaging wise, presentation wise. I just feel like it's absolutely stunning, and I love the way it applied. Now this bronzer, you guys, I'm actually really impressed with. Pros: a little goes a long way. It really blends out beautifully. What I love about this, probably more than anything besides the tone, I love the tone of this bronzer. It's such a good cool tone that this is, for me personally, this is where bronzing meets contour. It's cool enough that it's not, I'm not going to say it's a contour, right? Because obviously it is brown, it is a bronzer, but it is a matte bronzer. So I'm able to use it a little more like a contour. So A, it could eliminate a step if you're one of those people that you're like, I don't want to do both, or I can't do both. This is just a really good option for that. For what you pay, again, 28 bucks for this as well, you get a good, like a good amount of product. This will last you so long. It is so much pigmentation, and if you are fair skinned, this is a good one. And again, this is the shade Tawny. Great option as far as that goes. And if you're fair, you're going to need even less, so it's going to go even farther, which I really love. Now I do love, like I just said, I love the formula. The only thing I will say is that, well, first of all, thank God it like buffs into the skin and you can really move it around effortlessly, because for as much as I had to like buff and blend this out, this easily could have moved around my foundation, my blush. Like, this could have moved all the products on my face. I had to work with it that much. So it's good and bad, but it is very easy to manipulate. It's like it just glides around your face so nicely. I highly recommend this bronzer. I really like it. So now the tea that we have all been waiting for, the Soft Glam palette. You guys, I actually, when I went off camera, I did this eye. The first thing I'm gonna say is I did go in with glitter glue, and that definitely solved the problem I was having. It was able to keep the vibrancy and stick a lot better. That's just my lids though. I've said this before 100 times on my channel. It's better for me personally to use a glitter glue. It just helps make everything even and better and like much more rich looking. And so I went over this eye and I added the glitter glue on this side as well, so it would, you know, match obviously, because there was a stark freaking difference between the two without it. My only like issue that I'm having with this palette, I feel like these shadows are so insanely soft that when I was like tapping into them, like with my brush, I literally tapped, and there was so much product that kicked all over the pan, all over everywhere, and it was like, it's almost overwhelming. And when everyone was talking about the Subculture palette, and oh my god, it does this, and oh, if you tap into it 100 times and it goes everywhere, this is the first time that I've actually experienced that bad. I really had a huge issue with the Burnt Orange and the Sienna, like these two shades, which are two of my favorites, by the way, in this palette. They blend out beautifully and they look really nice, but I had an issue with how soft they were. Now, I do prefer a softer shadow, and Kick Up is fine with me. I love it. A lot of times, Kick Up in pan will get you a much more blendable shadow. So I think that might just be a personal preference. These are on the verge of having a little too much kick and being a little too soft. There's a hair right there, and it's like really bothering me. But again, that's just personal preference. Now, with all that being said, I love the colors in this palette. I'm obsessed with so many of them as far as build up and crease colors and things of that nature. My issue lies in the mud, quite frankly. I put on so many different colors and I kept trying to work them together, and the reality is that when you drift into the darker shades, which Sienna, Rustic, Cypress, and Noir, these four right here, as I delved into those shades, I felt like all the beauty from the other colors was like muddied out. And I don't say muddy in the term of like, oh God, it looks muddy and it looks ugly, because I definitely think that the eye look itself turned out beautiful. The only thing I would caution you with in this palette specifically is that if you use it, just be mindful what you layer and how, because these are going to be shades that if you accidentally kick, say, a darker shade onto the outer V and you kick it a little too high, you are going to lose whatever color was there previous. It's not going to be one where this tone pulls this tone. It's going to be whichever shade is on top is the one you're seeing. These are a lot powdery, a lot more powdery in that respect. Now overall, I think that the mattes blend out like a dream. They look beautiful. I did have a small issue with like a patchy type thing happening over here, but because this is a first impression, I can't say if that's going to be consistent or if it might have just been like a patch of something on this eye. So far, I really like, for the most part, these shadows. But again, I struggle a little bit with the colors themselves when you get into the deeper ones. I think this eye look would have taken an entirely different course if I had stayed away from these two deeper shades. I think you would have been able to see a lot more of the burnt orange and the sienna, and it would have stayed a lot more true to that aesthetic. I don't know what that was, but I think that, you know how like you have a thing in your throat where it's like not a burp, it's not a hiccup, it's just like a bubble? Is that weird? Like where it's like, but you're like, what was that? You know what I mean? That's where I'm at. So anyways, I think with this palette, I'm not gonna say I'm obsessed. I'm not gonna say that you need it. I think it's beautiful. I love the tones. I love the concept, but I think I'm gonna have to use it a little bit more before I can tell you yes or no, just because there are a couple aspects of it that I don't like. Now, if you were to ask me, Paige, would you get this one over, say, what other Anastasia palette? Hands down, I would still get the Modern Renaissance palette. I think that you can get a lot of similar hues, some of the lighter colors, and you know, I really think that you'd still be able to find what you're looking for in that palette. Do I have that one handy? I do. All right, so I'm gonna put these next to each other for you. Be gentle. I loved my Modern Renaissance palette a lot back in its day. So these are the two of them side by side. And again, Soft Glam and then Modern Renaissance over here. So you can definitely see that you get a lot of some similar tones. A lot of, you know, the light oranges, but the Modern Renaissance gave you a lot more pinky purple hue than this one did. But I feel like all of these up here and then even a couple at the bottom could possibly pull a lot of the similar looks from that Soft Glam. Woo! I feel like there's like this glare. There we go. That's much better. So again, that's just personal preference for me, but I wanted you guys to kind of see my perspective. I still really love the formula of the Modern Renaissance palette. I don't know if that's just me. I don't know. I mean, it could be. I'm not sure, but I just feel like for what you get, like the burnt orange. Oh, wait, actually, wait a second. That's still the same shade. Hold on. Because burnt orange is actually in both palettes. Like even the title, burnt orange, that's still in there. Are any of these other ones in here? Cypress Umber, that's in this palette as well. The Modern Renaissance palette has a raw sienna. This one has sienna, but I gotta be honest, it looks pretty similar. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of these that look similar. You know what I mean? Like, what is this? Buon Fresco or whatever that says in Modern Renaissance is just like a lighter version of Dusty Rose. They both have the shade Tempera, whatever that is, but they both have that in the exact same spot. And I think that Red Ochre and Mulberry in swatch are actually pretty similar. Again, I know one's more browny, one's more red, but I don't know, like, you know what I mean? If you could just sit and you compare them, I feel like if you already have the Modern Renaissance, do you need the Soft Glam? I don't know. The one thing the Modern Renaissance does not have that the Soft Glam does is a beautiful like gold, intense gold shimmer. Like this one has the bronze shade. This one doesn't have that. It only has Primavera, which is a lot like softer gold. It's still gorgeous, but it's a lot more soft than the bronze. So, and it doesn't have a black shade. Anyways, you guys can compare those and, you know, kind of check it out. It does actually have like 4 of the exact same shades and then a lot of other ones that I think are pretty similar. So I don't know, you guys, if it were me, I don't know that I would say like you need to run out and buy it, just because A, what's there? If you already have this one, you've got some of them already, and then B, I feel like a lot of the colors are easily dupable, so I don't know. that is one we will leave up to you. But until then, you guys, thank you so much for bearing with me. I know this was a long video. You guys know that I like to give you every single thought that I have that comes into my head just to help you make your decision, because your money is hard earned and you deserve to only spend it on the best of the best of the best things. So you guys have a great day, night, weekend, whatever it is when you're watching this. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe down below, as well as, what did I say in the first part of this video? Check the description box for all my many social media handles. There's only like 4, but they're very important to the process, you guys. You guys, I will talk to you later. Bye. Waited forever for the release. Look at my highlight. Oh my God, I can't stop. Can't stop the music. We dance, 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 dance. We dance.